Capitol Hill to Wall Street. This is Politics and Profits with your host, Rick Amato.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Rick Amato. It's time for Politics and Profits.
We follow the trends on Capitol Hill that lead to the profits on Wall Street. We expose the hard facts of what your elected officials are doing when you're not looking. And we show you how you can profit from their politics. The American dream is alive and well, and you can be proud to call America your home. And now, it's Rick Amato.
Welcome to Politics and Profits, everyone. Of course, I'm Rick Amato. And speaking of course, if you've not heard, there's a presidential election right around the corner. And of course, this election is maybe the most dramatic, the most followed in many of our lifetimes. So there's another twist and turn to the November 3rd presidential election. Join me this time from Mount Vernon, New York, is Republican presidential candidate, someone who happens to be black as well, a write-in candidate for the Republican Party, Peter Sherrill. Let's meet this individual. Peter, good to see you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amato. I appreciate you allowing me to have the opportunity to be on your show, sir.
Well, Peter, let me ask you, while you may not, you're starting to receive some exposure and publicity on a national level as of late, as the last few weeks here. However, I would imagine both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are not happy that you're in this race as a write-in candidate. I would say Democratic Party because of your ethnic background and Republican Party because of your R after your name. Why are you running?
I am running because I feel as though we need a real alternative for America. And as you know, the country is very divided and highly polarized. Democrat, Republicans, the nation is split, and it really doesn't matter what happens. The nation will still continue to be polarized. And the objective was, when I thought about pursuing the write-in vote, it gives you the opportunity to unite the country, because the write-in vote is fundamental to the Constitution and we, the people. It's not based on corporate dollars. It doesn't have to be contingent upon any foreign interests. It's the American people's opportunity and right to vote in this country without any ulterior motives or influences.
And Peter, your background for our viewers out there, you were a member of the Department of Homeland Security, former executive at Texaco. I would imagine that you are more likely to take voters away from the Democratic ticket than the Republican ticket. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, the objective is not to take the votes away. It's to share what I see as the future for America, where both parties, doesn't matter, Democrat or Republican, will say, you know what? This sounds like an election manifesto and an agenda that I would like to be a part of. Like, for instance, one of my objectives is to change the 80-20 for seniors. And they're like, well, how are you going to pay for that? And I was like, well, nobody asked how we was going to pay for $1 trillion tax cut. Why not change the burden that our seniors are dealing with? And of course, you know, I'm very passionate about our veterans and the way our veterans are not being taken care of in this country, and the need for education reform. I mean, those are fundamental needs that have to have a plan. And I share this. Being from Homeland Security, they teach us how to plan comprehensively, not in a silo. And so these are the areas that I'm looking to address to make this country a better place for all Americans. And the write-in vote allows you to offer this to all Americans.
As I listen to you speak, I would imagine you feel that you can appeal to both individuals of both parties.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, my educational background, I'm an economics major, and I spent 25 years in corporate America. Uh, we have a $28 trillion deficit. We have no manufacturing or production in this country. And it's like, you know what? I have a plan to change the manufacturing and production. Now, everybody says, oh, yeah, we're going to bring manufacturing jobs back. However, you have to have something to manufacture that is marketable. And right now, we do not have anything where anybody would say, well, I'm not going to buy this where I could buy it from China. We don't have anything that the world would want to buy from America like it used to.
Well,
that's what I consider making America great again.
How do you change that? How do you get that manufacturing product that you described?
Well, to just give a minor summation, it starts with the auto industry. Now, I have a plan that will change the whole dynamic of the auto industry. This is like classified data, and it will take a serious engineer to put together what I am looking and proposing to do, which will change the entire carbon footprint of America and the world. And if you go to my website, I kind of address this area as far as economic manufacturing and production.
And we're showing your website on the TV screen here. So for our viewers out there, to get a deeper understanding of what Peter Sherrill, U.S. presidential candidate, write-in candidate, is describing on the auto manufacturing industry, go to his website. And Peter, I appreciate that because we have a lot of viewers in Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and I know this is an important topic to them. We're down in less than a minute or so here, Peter.
Yes, sir.
You used to be a Democrat. You moved.
Yes, sir.
You moved
40 years.
40 years. You moved to Republican Party, and you're appealing to both parties. Why did you switch from D to R?
You know, it was when I actually had the opportunity to work in government and become director of Homeland Security. And so being from Homeland Security, you see more of a concentration and a dedication on the Republican side to Homeland Security.
Really?
So that began to change. The other change that occurred was a serious disenfranchisement with the Black Democratic leadership that I experienced when I was during the time that I was at Texaco during the racial discrimination lawsuit, how they exploited and extorted that entire lawsuit for their own personal gain, professionally and financially. And probably one name you will recognize, who was the chair of the diversity task force for Texaco, was Deval Patrick. He benefited more than anybody from the entire class.
Amazing, amazing. So working on the inside of power structures and corporate structures, excuse me, you saw the inner workings in it, and it made you have a different point of view.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Peter Sherrill?
You know, there's $35 million that's still not accounted for from that diversity task force that Deval Patrick was the chair of.
Wow.
35 million.
35 million. Peter,
5 million.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. However, I'm going to give you the last word, 30 seconds here. Say whatever you'd like to our audience.
Well, if you're sick and tired of your vote being taken for granted, and if you're sick and tired of Russia and Putin interfering in our elections, and if you're sick and tired of bailing out Wall Street, choose to use the write-in vote. It's our freedom and democracy that is tied to the write-in vote, given to us by our founding fathers.
All right, Peter.
A reason such as this.
Peter Sherrill, love the passion, love the emotion behind your voice, and love much of what you had to say about bringing the country together. We'll see what happens November 3rd, and we look forward to speaking to you between now and then.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amato.
Broadcasting from Liberatory CPA Studios, back after this.
Politics and Profits with Rick Amato is brought to you by Liberatory Accounting, the IRS problem solvers. To find out how Liberatory Accounting can help you, call 877-6-SOLVER. That's 877-6-SOLVER.